In the park, Audra runs into Sally while jogging and talk turns to Amy. Audra says she's settled into the clinic in Boston. Sally's sure she misses Nate, and hopes Holden doesn't find out he's out of town. Audra snaps. What is it with everyone suspecting something is going on with Holden and me? Sally apologizes for her joke and asks who else thinks more is going on with her and Holden. Audra says it was Lily, who's always looking to get a dig in. They were having a civilized conversation when Holden showed up. Lily insisted she was lying about their relationship and history. The last thing she needed was Sally piling on. Sally apologizes again and assures her friend she trusts her. But the way Holden acts around her is giving more was going on between you two vibes. Audra can't control that. All she can do is keep putting him in his place. Sally warns the way he looked at her yesterday was not a casual thing. Audra says it's in the past and she's not looking to revisit it. You need to let this go. Sally says she will, but it's clearly eating at her and eventually she'll need to talk about it. Talk turns to Phyllis, so Sally updates Audra on Billy giving her an ultimatum. Audra is impressed. Sally didn't hate watching her stomp off. She just wishes he'd actually fired her. Audra suggests she take her advice and be proactive. Sally's not ready to play dirty. Phyllis has been through a lot and is dealing with a lot of trauma. She feels for what she's going through, but she's still Phyllis. Sally knows she'll bring Billy down. Audra can't understand why Billy can't see how toxic she is. Sally's afraid that he sees it, but isn't about to admit he was wrong to choose Phyllis as his partner. Audra is sure Sally can convince him. There are plenty of other people he could build a company with. Sally admits he offered her a position. Audra thinks that's perfect. Sally was tempted, but she loves Marchetti. I love fashion. Audra urges her to think of the power and perks. How can you say no? At Crimson Lights, Tessa's sorry to hear Daniel's still feeling down. She does see an improvement already. He's being honest about his emotions. Daniel's sorry if he's dumping on her. Tessa says that's the only way out of it. The joke about his guitar playing skills, and she tells him he needs patience. Daniel asks if she has a miracle cure for it. Tessa advises him to call her when he needs to be reminded to trust the process. She declares they're going to start working on his negativity. Stop beating yourself up. Think of every day as a step forward. She means him getting past his grief and learning guitar. Daniel warns Tessa he may be a hard case. He tries to be positive by saying that if anyone can help him find a new angle, it will be her. She's up for the challenge and tells him to think of the guitar as a metaphor for life. Learning a new chord is a step forward to finding a life he wants to find. Daniel commends her on her effort. He assures her he's all in. Tessa offers another lesson now. Daniel has breakfast with his mom, but she wants to lecture him. It's a hard yes. At the club, Billy tells Phyllis he won't join her for breakfast and asks if she's okay. She's just excited and brimming with ideas. She's sure Daniel is excited too. He'll be there any minute. Billy's disappointed that nothing has changed since their conversation. Phyllis is worried about him spiraling out like he did in Savannah. Billy says Abbott communications won't solve his issues. He sits and reminds her of their talk yesterday. If she coaxes him into coming to work with them, it won't end well. He doesn't want your help. He declares that Daniel isn't distancing himself from the job. He's distancing himself from her. She has to stop smothering him and let it go. Phyllis doesn't think Billy would do this to his own kids, but he insists he'd give them space if they asked. Phyllis doesn't believe him. Billy thinks this is about what she needs. She's been through hell and needs time to heal. Phyllis warns him not to shrink her. Billy says Daniel needs freedom to make choices. He doesn't agree with this full court press she's putting on him. He needs all of her, but all her energy is going toward Daniel. She's left him no choice. He's sorry, but she's out. Phyllis can't believe he's firing her. Billy means every word, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Phyllis. She protests that this would be a colossal mistake. You need me. Billy agrees. if she was giving him 200% since the beginning. All of their meetings are about Daniel. Phyllis tells him, "You can't fire me. Please, Billy, you saved my life." This company is saving her life. She pleads with him not to take it away from her. He knows she's been through hell. "You need to take some time. They can revisit this in the future." Phyllis doesn't need time. She needs to build this company with him. That will make her stronger. Billy maintains the timing's not right. She asks for another chance, and he refuses. Alone at the table after Billy leaves, Phyllis gets a call from Daniel, who wants to reschedule. He admits it's partly because he doesn't want Abbott Communications stuffed down his throat. He's not working there, and that's his final decision. Phyllis will accept his decision if he comes there and looks in her eyes. She wants to see peace. Daniel asks for space to figure this out on his own. Phyllis asks how they'll figure this out. Daniel says he's working with someone, a friend, who gets where his head is at. He tells his mother to focus on herself and getting the company off the ground. Phyllis says Billy just fired her. Daniel realizes it's because she was pushing for him to come on. He'll talk to Billy. Phyllis doesn't care. She just wants Daniel to be happy. Daniel tells her to stop. Returning to the table in crimson lights where Tessa's waiting, Daniel updates her on his mother's firing and asks for a rain check. Tessa says, "Absolutely." She urges him not to lose faith. Everything will work out as it should. Daniel trusts her more than just about anyone else right now. Daniel walks out and Mariah appears. Tessa squeals, "You're home." "I don't believe it." They embrace. Tessa asks about her trip, and Mariah says it was back-to-back meetings. Tessa's sure Sharon's appreciative. They go over how happy Sharon is with Nick and their children in London. Mariah couldn't wait to get home to hug Ariel like the world was ending. Tessa notes a change and asks, "Mariah, is everything okay?" Mariah tells Tessa, "I just missed you so much." Tessa asks her to sit down and catch up, but Mariah doesn't have time. She hugs her wife again. Tessa looks unsettled. Mariah says she'll see her at home in a few hours and goes. Phyllis comes into the coffee house and notices Daniel's jacket. She asks Tessa if he's here. Tessa says he went to see her. Phyllis asks if she's the friend helping him. Tessa says it is. Phyllis hugs her. "Please tell me that you're going to help me save my son." At the park, Sally and Audra continue going over Billy's offer for Sally to work with him. Sally says it's a risk. Audra points out if she leaves Marchetti, she won't have to run into Chelsea all the time. Sally admits that's awkward, but this is a huge decision. Audra keeps pushing her to accept Billy's offer. They can have fun creating new companies, support each other, and compare notes. Audra teases that if Sally doesn't take Billy up on his offer, she might recruit her to come and work with her. Sally loves where she's at. "I love what I do." Audra thinks the deadlines must make her crazy. She suggests she create a fashion platform at Abbott Communications. Sally admits she's good at this. Audra knows she would kill it. With her as Billy's right hand, Phyllis will be gone for good. Billy returns to the club dining room and finds Phyllis gone. He sits at the bar and Daniel walks in. "Billy, what's wrong with you, man? Why would you fire my mother because of me?" Billy asks him to calm down. Daniel points out he's very calm. He knows what the job means to her. Why is he punishing her for me? Billy appreciates him standing up for his mother, but this is a complex situation. Daniel knows she pushed a little hard, but that's why they love her. Billy says she left him no choice. He didn't make the decision because he's angry. He can't move forward in this situation. Daniel will talk to her. Just give her another chance. He knows Billy sees the truth. This is about her. This is what she needs. She's counting on this to get her life back. Billy insists he's not giving up on Phyllis, but he can't give her the job back. He's doing what's right for his company and what's best for his mother. There are things she needs to process. He sees chinks in the armor. "I'm concerned about her." Daniel thinks she'll be fine once she sees he's heading in the right direction. Billy couldn't ask for a better second in command. "Do not do this, Billy. Billy's sorry, but his decision is final. No one's sorrier than I am. He respects that Phyllis is fighting for her son and believes she knows what's best for him." Daniel sighs, "Even if she doesn't, Billy won't change his mind." Daniel warns he's making a mistake. Billy doesn't think he is. He's sure Phyllis will come back from this stronger. As Billy's exiting, Sally meets him at the door. She says she's been doing some soul searching. He asks what about. She says, "You, me, and Abbott Communications." "Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching." So let's dive into today's video. And how is it connected to Phyllis? Tessa kept asking Mariah what was wrong on the April 29 episode of The Young and the Restless. Mariah kept insisting everything was fine, everything was great, and there was absolutely nothing to worry about. Did Mariah look like everything was fine, everything was great, and there was absolutely nothing to worry about? Yeah, we didn't think so either. But what could the issue be? Here are 3 possibilities. Working is hard. Traveling is hard. Traveling for work is especially hard. Maybe Mariah was just really tired. She got off a plane, rushed home to see her daughter, and then came to pick up some coffee before going back to doing even more work. Perhaps the caffeine hadn't kicked in yet by the time she saw Tessa. So Mariah was doing her best to express enthusiasm for her wife, when what she really wanted to do was pass out cold. Simple as that. Mariah claimed that Sharon, Nick, and the kids were having a blast in London. But what if that's a lie? What if Mariah heard from Nick that her mom had a breakdown after everything she'd just been through? After all, Phyllis is going full PTSD. Why shouldn't Sharon? But Nick asked Mariah to keep mum so Victor wouldn't find out and make one of his famous "Here is what I insist be done about this" speeches. Or maybe, like us, Mariah is very, very confused about what's been happening between Tessa and Daniel while Mariah has been away. They have been spending an awful lot of time together, playing guitar, and talking, and connecting, and having an emotional affair. Remember when Phyllis acted surprised that Tessa was the person helping Daniel get his head together, but then instantly jumped onto the "great, now we can work together to keep my son from doing something I don't want him to do" bandwagon? What if Phyllis was only pretending to be surprised? What if she's been plotting this move for days? And what if she texted Mariah a photo of Tessa and Daniel to get her to doubt her marriage, break up with Tessa, and leave Tessa free for Daniel? And for Phyllis to manipulate? Find out what the Y&R star has been up to lately. Elizabeth Hendrickson was in a celebratory mood. She shared an update with Young and the Restless fans on social media. Hendrickson revealed that she was looking forward to new beginnings. Spring is in full swing in most parts of the country and world. There are outdoor festivals, events, and gatherings. The flowers are blooming. Other new opportunities are unfolding. Hendrickson is feeling the spirit. The Y&R star posted her fun-filled weekend on Instagram. The first shot showed her wearing a black jacket and cat-eye sunglasses. She also carried a new white tote bag that read UCLA Lab School. She also shared some cozy moments in and out of the house. Hendrickson included a clip of a rainbow over the fields, a symbol of hope. Other shots featured her daughter, Josephine, and flowers blooming outside her home. Hendrickson included a snapshot of her photo booth pics and a sticker that read, UCLA Lab School New Family Social. She also included another shot of her rocking that tote. Some weekend fun filled with friends, rainbows, and getting excited for new beginnings. She captioned the shot. Hendrickson revealed that her daughter, whom she shares with husband Rob Mader, is embarking on a new journey. Y&R fans took to the comment section to react to Hendrickson's latest post and wished her well. This can be an emotional time for parents. One fan wrote, "Congratulations on lab school. I miss seeing you on the show." Another fan commented, "Best wishes on your new journey." A third fan echoed the previous comments, Congrats on lab school. Meanwhile, one thoughtful fan offered some words of advice. The user wrote, "So very excited for the three of you. You will meet some of your best friends in kindergarten and elementary school. Look around the class and you will pinch yourself years later. Wow." Hendrickson is on recurring status with Y and R, meaning she's only on the show when she has a storyline. For now, she shares her mommy milestones on social media. Hopefully, Josephine enjoys her time in school. What are your thoughts on Hendrickson's social media update? Let us know in the comments section. Tired? Jet lagged? Sick? What's going on with Cole? For the Wednesday, April 30 episode of The Young and the Restless, spoilers photos show Nikki stepping up for Claire, Lauren getting unexpected news, and Cole causing concern. Claire's romance with Kyle is anything but easy. With Victor trying to call the shots, the couple knows they're in for an uphill battle. Thankfully, Grandma Nikki is on hand to help things along. She grabs Claire and whisks her off to society for a bit of a chat. Does she have a solution that will help them out? Also having a talk are Adam and Chelsea. They'll grab a coffee at Crimson Lights with Connor for a little family time before Chelsea meets up with Lauren to talk shop. Is there something new and exciting on Chelsea's horizon? Meanwhile, Billy and Sally check in with each other at the athletic club. They'll grab drinks at the bar and things start looking rather tense. Very tense. Are things starting to fall apart between them? Keep an eye on Cole during this episode. He's back in town and he doesn't seem to be doing well. Is he just simply tired and jet-lagged, or is something more going on? Victoria and Claire are worried. Teasers show this leads to Victoria pushing Cole to make a pretty big decision. The Young and the Restless recap for Tuesday, April 29, sees Billy making a tough choice regarding Phyllis, while Daniel tries to face his demons. Plus, Audra tries to convince Sally that she should work for Billy. Billy showed up at the GEAC ready for a workout, but barely made it past the entrance before Phyllis waved him over. He decided not to join her for breakfast. When talk turned to Daniel refusing to join the company, Billy pointed out she wasn't giving her son the space he needed. Phyllis insisted she couldn't let Daniel spiral again, but Billy warned her that meddling wouldn't fix anything. Sitting down, Billy made it clear, if Phyllis didn't back off her son, their business relationship would have to end. She bristled at the suggestion, claiming she knew what was best, but Billy said this wasn't about Daniel. It was about Phyllis and her own desperate need to heal. She told him not to psychoanalyze her, but Billy stayed firm. Eventually, after one argument too many, he declared, "You're out." Phyllis balked, arguing he couldn't fire her over a simple disagreement, but Billy explained this had been building. She wasn't contributing. Every meeting had been about her son. Firing her was the last thing he wanted, but it was the only option left. He reminded her she needed time to recover, but Phyllis begged him to let her stay, claiming the company was saving her life. Billy walked away. Daniel bumped into Tessa at Crimson Lights and joined her for a chat. She checked in on him, and he admitted he was still a mess. Tessa encouraged him to trust the process, offering to help him find his way. Daniel joked that many had tried and failed before, but if anyone could help him, it was Tessa. She turned the conversation into a guitar metaphor. Each new chord was a new step forward. Encouraged, Daniel canceled breakfast with his mom. Phyllis didn't take the news well when Daniel called. She demanded he come tell her to her face that he wasn't joining Abbott Communications. Daniel asked for space, explaining he was working through things with a friend. Hurt and frustrated, Phyllis blurted out that Billy had fired her. Daniel offered to intervene, but Phyllis didn't want him to. After Daniel filled Tessa in, she urged him not to lose hope. As he left, Mariah arrived at the coffee house, and Tessa immediately knew something wasn't right. Mariah insisted she was just emotional from missing her, but Tessa could tell there was more. Later, Phyllis came into Crimson Lights and spotted Daniel's jacket. Sensing Tessa's connection to her son, Phyllis asked if she could save him. Sally literally ran into Audra during a jog in the park. As they caught their breath, they talked about Holden and Nate. Audra got defensive when Sally teased her about rumors, insisting her past with Nate was just that, in the past. Sally wasn't so sure and urged Audra to be honest about what was really eating at her. The conversation shifted to Abbott communications and Billy's drama with Phyllis. Audra admired Billy's backbone, but suggested Sally take action and secure Phyllis's job for herself. Sally hesitated, loyal to her role at Marchetti and Clo, but Audra tried to entice Sally by talking about power, perks, and a fresh start. Back at the GTAC, Daniel confronted Billy about firing Phyllis. Billy calmly explained that he appreciated Daniel standing up for his mom, but she left him no choice. He couldn't trust her judgment, and moving forward was necessary for everyone's sake. Daniel begged him to reconsider, but Billy stood his ground. As Billy left, he crossed paths with Sally. She picked up that something had changed. She admitted she had been soul-searching about her future with Abbott Communications and Billy himself. Meanwhile, Phyllis sat alone at the park, tears streaming down her face. Could they work amicably together? Lily and Audra bring a new dynamic to the young and the restless. We'd love to see these two work together and become friends. They have more in common than you might think. We already see similarities between Lily and Audra. First, they both hate Victor. They would love nothing more than to take him down. Unfortunately, Audra's messiest move was working with Victor again. She should know better. Lily already knows what it's like to make a deal with the devil. He will suck your soul and spit you back out. Both ladies are schemers and liars. They also have keen instincts and can read anyone within 3 seconds of meeting them. The two could bond over their power-hungry ways. Sometimes they let it get the better of them. They would love nothing more than to run their own company. It's also safe to say that they make everyone's business their business. We mean this in the nicest way possible. It's nice to see Lily and Audra becoming civil towards one another. This could be the start of a beautiful new friendship. It's a shame they didn't work together months ago when Victor betrayed Lily and fired Audra from Glissade. What a missed opportunity for them to scheme together and take him down. They could make an incredible team, and over time, they could develop a strong friendship. It was thrilling to see Audra and Lily team up against Holden. He assumed that he could get them to stop fighting with each other. Then, they turned their energy onto him. He had no idea what he had gotten himself into with these women. So, would this alliance fly high, or would it go down in flames? We would love to see it happen. It'll be interesting to see if Audra and Lily will continue working together. This is a team that we're keeping our eyes on. What are your thoughts? Do you think Lily and Audra should work together? Let us know in the comments section. Mariah and R enlisted Peter Bergman to help with designing the new Abbott Mansion. The Abbott Mansion has undergone an overhaul on the young and the restless. Last week, the show unveiled the new design for the iconic set. It was a tough job for the production crew, but they had help from actor Peter Bergman. The Abbott Mansion has been an important part of Y and our history for the past 4 decades. Fans have watched the beloved Abbotts have their famous breakfast in the dining room and holiday gatherings in the living room. But over time, the set began to show its age, and producers decided it was time for a makeover. When it comes to redesigning an iconic soap opera set, the crew has a tough task. They've got to give it a fresh new look, while maintaining some of the set's character. For the Y&R crew, they received input from Bergman, who plays Jack Abbott. In an interview with Soap Opera Digest, production designer David Hoffman revealed how the Bergman helped with the design process. We began assembling research pictures of elements that we wanted to incorporate into the final design. Then we asked to have a sit-down with Peter Bergman, to present to him our plans for the set his character had called home since he started on the show. In fact, because of his long attachment, we decided to conduct the meeting as if we were having a conversation with Jack Abbott, not the actor who played him. This was a lot of fun, and Peter never broke character until the very end of the meeting. Aside from helping with the designs, Bergman also suggested the storyline of Diane redecorating the mansion. For Walters, she was thrilled with the idea. It was so generous of Peter Bergman to suggest that it'd be a story between Jack and Diane, and a way for them to test how Jack trusts her. Walters told Soap Opera Digest, "Victoria wonders what Cole will do." The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, April 30 promise that rarest of rare days. Nikki refuses to obey her lord and master, Victor, and prioritizes other members of her family. Victor is used to the world snapping to attention the minute he snaps his fingers. His wife, Nikki, is at the top of the list of those whose job it is to stand a respectful distance behind him and brotherly in tone. "Oh, Victor, you are so smart, and manly, and virile, and, of course, always correct." She's been getting with the program for decades now. This is why Victor never even suspects that she might go against his wishes. Victor has announced that Claire may not love Kyle, so Claire shall not love Kyle, and she most certainly shan't move in with him. What's there to talk about? Nikki, on the other hand, is rooting for her granddaughter and Jack's grandson, so she takes matters into her own hands to help the not really star-crossed lovers. Victoria is also open to the idea of Claire and Kyle. But Victor has made it clear to Cole that it's his job as a father to keep Claire from getting her heart broken. And if Cole doesn't fulfill his paternal obligations well, then Victor may need to withdraw his approval of Cole and Victoria's relationship as well. And Cole wouldn't want to risk that happening, would he? After all, who is more critical, Cole's wife and daughter, or Victor? Lauren is about to experience a shock. We can only hope it's Michael finally coming to his senses and realizing that Victor's latest temper tantrum was so hilariously over the top that he can't possibly continue working for an obvious lunatic. In Genoa City, tensions run high as romantic betrayals, power moves, and suspicious behavior dominate the lives of the Newman, Abbott, and Spectra clans. The week of April 28 through May 2 promises fireworks on the Young and the Restless, with key characters confronting emotional challenges and dangerous liaisons. From Sally's scheming ambitions to Holden's unsettling presence, viewers can expect a cascade of drama that will reshape relationships and ignite rivalries. Daniel's struggle and a musical escape. It all begins with Daniel Romalotti, who, feeling creatively stifled, turns to Tessa Porter for guitar lessons. Longing to reignite his passion for art and music, Daniel chooses to connect with Tessa at Crimson Lights rather than seek guidance from his famous father, Danny Romalotti. While Tessa kindly agrees to help, she subtly reminds him that he's avoiding the most obvious mentor in his life. Their sessions at the coffee house are intimate and earnest, though not without disruption. One can only imagine the patrons trying to sip their lats while Daniel fumbles through his chords, a charming but realistically frustrating scenario. Despite the minor public disturbance, this new friendship may prove to be a pivotal turning point in Daniel's personal and professional journey. A mother's second chance, meanwhile, a much-needed emotional breakthrough emerges for Amy Lewis and her son Damon. Thanks to Nate Hastings, who delivers hopeful news from Amy's doctor, Amy agrees to an advanced therapy program in Boston that could significantly extend her time and healing. Nate and Damon vow to support her through the journey, setting the stage for a heartfelt reunion. Their embrace at Nate's apartment is full of warmth, as mother and son look forward to healing old wounds and building a stronger bond. This tender subplot reminds viewers of the show's emotional depth beyond the business boardrooms and love triangles. Elsewhere, Sally Spectra is on high alert, especially where Phyllis Summers is concerned. Sharing her suspicions with Audra Charles, Sally accuses Phyllis of sinking her claws into Billy Abbott, an accusation laced with jealousy and strategy. While Audra questions whether Sally feels threatened, Sally insists she's simply cautious, hinting that Phyllis might want more than just Billy's attention. Audra, always ready for corporate manipulation, encourages Sally to play dirty and remove Phyllis from the equation entirely. But their conversation takes a darker turn when Holden Novak enters the picture. Sally notices his strange, borderline obsessive behavior toward Audra, who brushes off any concern. Sally warns her, "Keep Holden away from Nate." The tension rises as Holden eyes Audra a bit too closely, raising red flags about his intentions. After Sally departs, Holden presses Audra to share a drink. She declines. Undeterred, he boldly asks for a job at her new company. It's clear Holden isn't backing down anytime soon, and his stalking tendencies add a layer of psychological suspense to the narrative. Victor Newman's Secrets and Celebrations. Victor Newman is playing his cards close to the vest, even with his beloved wife, Nikki. As he plans her grand birthday celebration, Victor is simultaneously orchestrating secret business moves, including a high-stakes deal with Audra. When Victor discovers that Claire Grace Newman is planning to move in with Kyle Abbott, he's far from pleased. Claire's entanglement with Kyle doesn't sit well with the Newman patriarch, and he wastes no time in issuing a stern directive to Audra: break them up, or the deal's off. This puts Audra in a difficult position, balancing Victor's demands with her own corporate aspirations. With so much at stake, her next move could spark explosive consequences. Back at Abbott Communications, Phyllis storms into Billy's office, pushing an agenda to force Daniel into a job he doesn't want. Billy, tired of her erratic behavior, finally draws a line: drop the Daniel stuff, or you're out. Sally walks in just in time to hear this ultimatum and watches, stunned, as Billy takes a firm stand. Phyllis, clearly blindsided, storms out. The showdown may be just what Billy needed to reclaim some personal and professional control. But for Phyllis, this could be the start of a dangerous spiral. On a lighter note, Diane Jenkins hosts a grand reveal at the Abbott mansion. With Jack and Kyle by her side, she dramatically unveils the extensive renovations she's completed, channeling the flair of a home makeover show. Jack appears pleasantly surprised, and Diane is radiant with pride. But even amid the fresh paint and modern finishes, an undercurrent of tension lingers, especially as Kyle prepares to move out and begin his next chapter with Claire. Claire, meanwhile, reveals to Victoria and Cole that she and Kyle are deeply in love and will be living together with young Harrison. The parents offer cautious support, but the looming presence of Victor's disapproval threatens to fracture the already fragile family harmony. As the week progresses, Chelsea Lawson confronts Adam Newman about his latest erratic behavior. Is it a personal vendetta or another scheme in Victor's war against the Abbotts? Adam is evasive, and Chelsea's suspicion grows. Meanwhile, Lily Winters is left to watch over Audra while Nate is out of town assisting with Amy's treatment. Lily's instincts are sharp, and Audra's odd behavior doesn't go unnoticed. With Holden lurking in the shadows and Audra plotting under Victor's influence, Lily may be forced to step in before things spiral out of control. All roads lead to the long-anticipated arrival of Aristotle Dumont. Though the name has been teased for weeks, his introduction is expected to send shockwaves through the business and personal lives of Genoa City's elite. As May sweeps approach, viewers can expect jaw-dropping revelations and unexpected betrayals that will test loyalties and upend power structures.